I mean, he always jokes that it was me that made him come here. That's what you say, don't you? Like he wanted to run far away.
I worked in an office where you couldn't even see the sunshine outside or raining. Like you see 40 screens, like this American style office. That kind of made me realize actually maybe farming is not that bad. And gradually I turned into like I couldn't imagine myself doing anything else.
I am Hanna. This is my husband Mátyás. I'm English and he's Hungarian, and we live here in Hungary in a village called Pusztakettős. We met in England in a nightclub and fell in love. And I never thought from that moment that I'd end up in Hungary farming, that's for sure. We've got 4 children, a lot of animals in the garden.
We are farming on about 500 hectares. About half of it is arable land, half of it is grassland. We have a Hungarian Simmental herd, about 200 heads, and we try to regenerate our soil with their help. I'm coming from a farming family. So my parents started to farm on these lands, but we currently farm. They've been farming in a conventional way. I didn't really like the lifestyle and the way how my parents were living. It wasn't attractive to me.
You didn't like it because they were working from morning till night.
It's a non-stop
no
work.
No
weekends, no holidays, never enough money, always struggling with money. I was like, oh, I need to move to a big city and leave these things behind and work in a bank and get my nice salary. So I went to travel. That's when we met with Hanna. And we ended up, I had quite a few work experience abroad, like office work and working as an engineer.
I visited the farm.
Yeah, quite a few times.
Quite a few times, and that would be when I probably fell in love with it. Well, I've always loved animals, and I grew up in a village in England, and I do love the countryside. I'm not a city person by any means, but I've never really been around farming. So I used to come here and visit the farm, help out Mátyás's dad, who was feeding the sheep back then. And I couldn't communicate to him because he spoke only Hungarian and I didn't speak any. So we developed this lovely relationship where we would feed the animals together and I'd learn a word here and a word there. So I just fell in love with the farm. Mátyás was by now taking up much more of an active role in the farm.
It was gradual, but probably from 16 we can say like I make all the decisions. My parents stood back a bit, full-time grandparents.
I think they were happy. They were happy as well. Your mum.
Yes,
they were happy to pass it on. There was a really stressful period in our lives because we had the 3 young kids. Mátyás was taking over the business, but he wasn't really. He wasn't happy. It wasn't him how it was running, and he was trying to make the best of it. You'd spend most of the time farming, but farming like from the office.
From the office, yeah. For years
and then going through what he found a stressful process of trying to get other people to do your farming in the way that you want them to do it as well. And I think the style of the farming and the business kind of blurred for a good while the beauty of it. And I think maybe over time that's what led you to look for a different way.
Yeah.
A few years ago, Mátyás, like he said, he came across this regenerative farming at first, and he started to get really excited by these ideas, and he was like reading the books in the evening, in the mornings, and I have to be honest, at the time my reaction was, that's just not possible. Like you leave in the morning, you come back at night, even when you're here, you're stressed, your phone is constantly ringing. I don't see how you can have less help because there aren't enough hours in the day. But something kind of happened around that time that the number of employees went down. It's not like you let everybody go. It's just someone found another job, someone had health issues. Like the number went down, someone had a baby. And Mátyás said, well, I'm going to drive the tractor. I was like, when are you going to drive the tractor? When you've got to be in the office all day. But he did it because he had to. And my kind of moment of realization was this light bulb moment, was that it was the best thing that happened to us, business-wise. He was then able to fill his time with the parts of the work that he enjoys. So being out on the land, you know,
Well, and
being
changing
with
the
the
management,
cows.
just changing the management. So I'm just actually planting and harvesting or grazing. We use much less petrol, much less working hours in a tractor. So the way how usually our farm was running, so it wasn't so attractive for a younger person, like with all the chemicals and everything what
Yeah.
you spray, like kind of poison and kill and all the time. Actually, just by management and by your thinking and how you see the whole uh, food production or whatever, like then you can just change it, and this shows you like actually it wasn't needed at all, and it was actually bad for our soil or environment
And for our stress levels.
exactly.
But I think that with that big change, for me anyway, I refound, you know, this love of farming, and I stopped seeing it as this business that was causing, you know, a lot of stress and worry. Because Mátyás was happier and motivated to go to work in the morning because he was enjoying it again, and that is very important for your home life.
Yeah, yeah.
So
It's
that
much
for me
nicer
was
to go out and see the cows than sitting
take
in an office and
you
dealing
take
with
the boys
banks
with
and
you in the tractor. He started
yeah,
taking the boys with him, so it was like quality time while doing the farming jobs, you know, and that's really quite beautiful, I think.
yeah. It's a bit more boring to fill up a bank application with your children. It's not so much fun. In this transformation or during this challenge, I found my path in it. It's very fascinating. It's a very big challenge, and it's like kind of a lifetime experience. So it's a project which never gonna end because you can always do it better. I really enjoy it. So I don't feel anymore my work is work. Like it's my life.
And I think that what's important to you as well is that the children see that you're doing something that, you know, that you are proud of. He's taught them about the whole process, regenerative farming. You know, they've seen presentations that he's done.
I'm hoping I can show to my children a much more attractive lifestyle when actually you are quite independent, quite you can live in a healthy surroundings
And you're happy.
and
Because if
happy.
your children see you going to work every day happy, then, you know, they're much more likely to want to do that job. You know,
sure.
our oldest son, if you ask him what he wants to do, he wants to do what Mátyás is doing, you know, and that's wonderful, I think.